we had a chance to go over to Acrisure Stadium in a nice windy, cold, matter of fact, I've never seen it probably as windy as it was. It was gusty. It wasn't easy to throw the ball. I've never seen the metal benches that we have on the sideline on game day blew over like several times. I think they even blew over with a heavy Gatorade jug on them. But you know, we got some really good work in there. It was great to get some of the young guys, some of the new guys in that stadium to see what they had. Defense won the scrimmage. We got about I would say we got about we got 45 plays with the ones and twos on both sides of the ball. So these, you know, some good reps there. You know, 45 with the ones, 45 with the twos, and got another 25 with the threes out there. You know, having three solid groups get work. Our kickers got to get in the stadium on a windy day, and they started off slow, but really finished strong. I was impressed with the way they, you know, sometimes kickers after a couple misses and feeling the wind and shoot the American flag was going, you know, like it was blowing. But it was good for those guys to get in and feel that. So I think it was a great experience for our guys to go in there. I think we had a good day. Again, defense won it. Defense played well. Still had some busts, you know, that we didn't take advantage of on offensively. And like I always say, you lose a scrimmage when you turn the ball over. So we turned the ball over on offense, and you know, primarily the reason we lost it. I thought the offense ran the ball pretty good, especially the ones. I think they averaged like 4.3 or 4.5 yards per carry. But the passing game wasn't where it needed to be. Questions?
Those turnovers, you seeing more mistakes by the offense, or your defense just making plays? You know,
that's a great question, Chris. I would say it was more mistakes by the offense. I wish I could say they were takeaways, but they were giveaways, probably more than takeaways. So, you know, just some plays that we can't do.
More interceptions or fumbles?
A little bit of both. I think 2 fumbles and a couple interceptions. So, one fumble, I think.
So what? Is there an overall good value to have that type of conditions? You don't know what you might face during the year.
Yeah, I mean, no question about it. I mean, it was probably a nice November day. We hope it's like that in November, but no, it was great to get out in those conditions. We're going to get in that stadium regardless. We had some snow flurries, you know, some hail. We had a little bit of everything. So, you know, it's always, you know, for the kickers, for the quarterbacks, for everybody, to feel, you know, what it's like in there and deal with the weather, because you're going to deal with the weather, whether it's real hot or real cold or windy, whatever it may be. It was a little bit of both.
How is Brookins progressing?
Cruz Brookins is doing a heck of a job. You know, I think midway through the year he hit a little freshman wall last year. I asked him that about 2 weeks ago. But like, you know, he said, he made the comment, it's a long season. You know, you think about a high school player coming out and jumping in and playing a lot for us, especially on third down. He's had, I think he's got 4 turnover stickers. I mean, he's had a great spring so far. So keep that up. Cruz is looking good.
What did you see from the quarterbacks in the scrimmage?
I think, you know, for the most part, besides the interceptions, they were solid. You know, just, you know, again, one of those windy days when the ball's floating. You know, but again, it wasn't good enough. Period. They know it, and I don't care if it's windy. You know, you got to put it on the guys. You know, we just didn't complete as many balls as we need to.
I think we talked a lot this spring about how it's the second year in the offense. Everybody's going through it for the second time, but you have 3 transfer receivers, 2 freshman receivers, 3 new offensive linemen. I mean, is it as smooth as you would hope it to be in the second year of the offense, or
it is.
having all those new faces?
It is. I mean, even with the new guys, I mean, they picked it up well. You know, especially the offensive line, I would say. You know, blocking is blocking. You know, their job is to block, and they've all seen 5 techniques before, whether it's here or somewhere else. They've all, you know what a 3 technique is, and a 2-eye, and a shade. So they know what they're blocking. So I think it's been less for them, but for the receivers to learn all the terminology and get lined up in all the different formations, get the motions going. It's been, you know, it's been good. It's been a lot better than last year for sure with the skill guys and route running and understanding that, but still not where we need to be. Again, some of those picks, I mean, blame it on the quarterback, blame it on receivers, running the wrong route, too deep, whatever it may be, not coming back to the ball, but it can't happen.
You said it's been smooth. The players, I think, have said that they feel like they're much further ahead as far as offensively than they were last year. So did some of the stuff you see on Saturday surprise you in terms of mistakes like that?
No, I think anytime you go in the stadium and again, it's the first live scrimmage. I think I mentioned maybe last Thursday after practice, like, I think everybody's got a plan until they get hit. It's alive the whole time. Again, we didn't go that many plays. We'll have more plays this coming Saturday. But you know, I think the operation for the most part was pretty good. That's what you're looking for. And then you got to make plays in the scrimmage, and you got to come ready to roll. And you know, the defense was cranked up. You know, the defense played with a lot of energy too. So I would say it's, you know, whoever wins that scrimmage, it's going to be based on turnovers, and it's going to be based on energy. And the defense got the turnovers, and they had the energy. Defense was, you know, I think anytime it's like the whole practice is live, you know, defense gets cranked up, and the offense is looking like, you know, we haven't done much of that. So they'll be much more prepared for this Saturday coming up.
Is it obvious that these guys are more accustomed to the speed, you know, play after play after play?
There's no question about it. I mean, the tempo, they've got that down, and again, we've adjusted our tempos a little bit, so we do a little bit of everything, but yeah, we've done a much better job of lining up quick and getting that, like I said, that operation before even the play starts. Now we have to still continue to clean up the operation part of it once the ball's snapped.
From a player standpoint, who sparks that energy, who brings that energy on the defensive side?
On the defense, I think it starts with Kyle Lewis. You know, Brookins brings it. You know, Ghost brings it. You know, on the D line. I think there's a lot of guys. I mean, defense is just different. You know, they get to go attack and react and all those things. I think it's always easier to have more energy on defense. Again, at this point in the season, you know, in spring ball, the offense is always going to be behind the defense. You know, any place I've ever been.
You mentioned Cruz maybe hitting the wall last year. I mean, what did he do to break through it and get past it?
I think it's just time and experience, right? I mean, you know, he's playing, you know, wish he was playing at the end of the year like he's playing right now. Just confidence, and it's wear and tear, and week after week, it just becomes the same thing in the NFL. I mean, you look at some, you know, the lengths of an NFL season. I mean, it's a lot of football. It's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of, you know, locked in. So, you know, he's been great.
It looked like Kenny Johnson made a couple of plays, a touchdown in the scrimmage. What have you just seen from his development heading into his third year?
You know, Kenny, you know, he keeps getting better. I mean, you know, he knows where to go. He can make plays. He does a great job catching the football. I mean, you know, and I know Eli trusts him. So, you know, there's an element of respect there for both those guys. And Kenny's done a nice job for us.
What about Kateris Hicks? What have you seen from him?
I think Blue had he had one catch. He got some yards after the catch, was good. He does a nice job blocking. Blue's been good.
Changing it up a little bit, any details for you guys on what you're doing tomorrow in terms of Mason Alexander?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Any
Got the Mason
details you
one.
can release about just Mason Alexander for tomorrow? What are your plans, the program's plans?
Yeah, you know, our plans, you know, tomorrow, you know, actually, we got coaches going out today. There's a viewing this evening, you know, around 4 o'clock, I believe, Indy time. So I'll be out there today and tomorrow to see the family. You know, to me, it was important to get there today as well. Tomorrow will be a rush, but to be able to, you know, pay respect today. And then we've got probably 60 guys going out tomorrow as far as on the team, and